So right before our blizzard's supposed to hit, this is all the snow we've had so far this year, which I haven't even plowed with my other truck yet. Kind of see where we're at. A little bit of snow on the cars, but I have not plowed this year. We're gonna see if we can't put some air in the tires and clean the windshield off on this, check some fluids, and maybe we use this tomorrow to push through our blizzard coming. Well, so the snow melted off of it. Started right up again after sitting for, I don't even know when I brought it into town, 3-4 weeks ago. It's got like algae literally growing out of the side of the truck. Yeah, that's gonna be fun to get off. The whole roof's like alive. It's like growing. So let's see what it needs, and I think we'll be able to plow some snow with it. Put some air in these tires. I do have a different set of tires I might try and put on it. I'm not sure if they fit yet, so we're gonna check that out and see, and go through and check all the fluids. And the snow's just starting. I can't really see through this. Anyway, it's getting white out there. We'll have some fun plowing with it tomorrow. Wow, I had to say, Dunk Glass Cleaner to the rescue. Took about 3 rags is all to do the half of it, but quite a difference. So I'm gonna finish up getting the window cleaned. Awesome, whole window's cleaned. Yeah, it's, I don't know what they call it. It's not algae, it's the stuff that grows on tree bark. But yeah, it's just all over everything. It was parked in the shade and didn't get any sunlight where it was at, underneath some trees, so I should probably just wash the whole thing with a, well, actually, the daughter that wants this truck should wash the whole thing. I'm just gonna use it to plow snow, I think, tomorrow. Anyway, we'll see what's under the hood and we'll go from there. Well, that was pretty awesome. I just put about a 1/4 gallon of coolant. It looks like we're pretty much full. Again, this doesn't have an overflow on it, so it just spills out over the top when it gets too full. So basically the little bit of head space in the top of the radiator is okay. So if you fill it all the way to the top, it'll leak out. But looks like the coolant's fine. Radiator's definitely starting to get rotten. I'm hoping that's just snow melt down there where it's wet, but it is a very old radiator. That's something I did not replace. I did spray paint it when I had it all apart a long time ago. But all right, I'm gonna check the hydraulic fluid first, or next. And yeah, she looks pretty good. All right, so there's my fluid level at here. Oh yeah, it's right there. So, awesome. Should have plenty of fluid for the plow. You can see this hose here is kind of sweating. It's almost soft. Like, this hose is really hard and stiff. I wonder if somebody once upon a time, it was always on there. Almost looks like that's a heater hose. The oil's kind of eating through it. I've never messed with any of the hydraulics on this. It's always the same stuff. Never had to. It's always worked good. Kind of how it works. You got a belt-driven pump that runs pressure through this line and goes through this valve, which is my up-down. It returns out of this line into this valve, which is the side to side. So as this lever goes side to side, it pushes it right and left. So pretty simple, but works very well. Got a little leakage on the seal here. Nothing I'm worried about. Like I said, I'm just gonna do my parking lot. And I'm just doing it for fun because my Chevy's actually a better plow. Although this one was pretty fun to whip donuts in and stuff. Kind of give you the whole tour here. Awesome, that stays up. So this thing was pretty rusty when I got it. Oh wow, is it gonna open? Ooh, that's stiff. That hasn't opened in a while. Pretty much anything that's black has been replaced. The whole floor is made out of square tubing and welded steel. This is all been replaced with steel. This piece, I think, yep, this all the way up into here was replaced with a piece of steel. The roll bar is actually, what'd that come out of? A 79 Chevy Blazer, like one of the full-size Blazers. I actually had to cut it in the middle to narrow it. It is on top of this plate steel here, but I wouldn't say it's a functional roll bar. I wouldn't want to roll over with it. It's just more because I had it laying around. Boy, the rust is starting to just get into here. These things rot. But yeah, the fact that people think it's in such good shape is actually because when I got it, it had a plywood floor and a milk crate for a seat. I'm gonna leave that down because I want to locate the tailgate. So my seat's in here, and this is all starting to rust up again just because it's old. And actually when I welded it up the first time, I made it watertight, and so it filled with water over the summer the first year. Totally made a mess out of my floor. You can see like this much of it has been replaced. Obviously, my paint didn't stick very good to that either. But we ended up drilling some water holes for drains the next year. And it's still pretty solid though. I might want to replace these floors again. I don't know. We'll see what we end up doing with it. But she's got Honda seats. Pretty solid. I'll lift it up and you can see the underside of it. All right, so Scout's up in the air. So just how rusty was this thing? As you can see, all this is square tube with plate. Up in there, I got some angle iron. This is like a chunk of 1x4 square tubing with a chunk of steel going up. That's how I made the inner fenders. I think up there you can see a little bit of red. That little piece right there is all that's original. This is original. This piece was added. This is a chunk of, well, look at that. That's terrible. Maybe that needs to be redone again, but this was a chunk of 2x3 square tubing that I made the rocker panel out of. That's actually falling apart pretty bad right now. 1-inch square tube, piece of plate steel sitting there. Like I said, when I got it, it was literally a plywood floor and a milk crate for a seat. There was no clutch in it. That was all burned out. Had no exhaust. It was in pretty rough shape. I put a lot of time into it. There's a ton of square tubing framing. This is what holds the gas tank in. Same thing over here, square tube, which is just kind of sad to see how rotten that is again, but has been 15 years at least. So you can see we pounded out a bunch of dents in the rear quarters. Never finished it, but worked good as my snowplow for many years. I see no reason why I shouldn't use it as my snowplow tomorrow for a little bit. Might not do the whole parking lot, but I'm gonna go through and just double check all the fluid levels and the transfer case, transmission differentials. You can see how bad the springs are sagged, because even with the plow sitting on the hoist, the bottom mounts are like touching the front axle. So I definitely need to replace the springs. But anyway, this is why it looks the way it does. It's because it was completely rebuilt and the original bottom of the truck doesn't exist anymore. So there's a lot of work put into it, but it looks like it should still work again. All right, didn't get as much snow as I expected, but here we are. We're gonna use a 66 to plow some snow. Does some plowing. My battery's just about dead on my phone. I'm gonna have to recharge it. Maybe we'll come out and finish this in a little bit. Yeah, it's currently 5 degrees outside, and the blower motor is not working in the Scout, so I'm gonna switch to the other truck. Did a decent job. It moved some of the snow, but yeah. I'd rather have a blower motor right now, so we'll get that fixed and maybe plow some more snow with it later. All right, so I pulled the International back in and let it warm up a little bit. It looks like maybe my blower motor just came unplugged. I found this just kind of hanging there, and I'll plug that back into there. Let's see if the blower motor works now. So that would be fantastic. It's something that simple. But haha. Awesome. Switch this to heat. Oh yeah. This should be my defrost. Kind of feel it coming out there. The heat never really worked great in this anyway, but that's awesome. All it was a disconnected wire. So yeah, it seems like it's running really good. The old Holly, after getting some fuel in it, sealed up. I don't see it dripping gas anymore like it was. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe put some tape on this connection so it doesn't come unplugged again. But I should have heat again too. Awesome.